Live, the news you count on. NBC2 News at 6.
We are learning a person was found alive on Fort Myers Beach just 2 days ago. Hurricane Ian tore through southwest Florida nearly 2 weeks ago, leveling Fort Myers Beach. We know 29 people were pulled from the rubble alive. Thanks for counting on NBC2. I'm Christy Soto.
And I'm Trent Bennett. We're glad to have you. The Fort Myers Beach Fire Chief just announced new restrictions on when residents can and cannot go on the island. NBC2's Gage Goulding joins us live from Times Square. Gage, what have you learned today?
So let's start with what we already know, what the fire department and the town said yesterday, and that was today, Saturday, people that live north of Times Square, where we're at right now, were able to be bussed onto the island to check on their properties, but they had to leave by 7 p.m., or if they chose to stay, which was kind of advised against, they had to shelter in place after 7 o'clock. That means you weren't allowed to roam around. Now, today, what we're learning is that you can actually come onto the island and check your property, but they want to do it in waves. That way, many people trying to see the devastation, many, might meet their homes like this. This is obviously, well, it's not obvious anymore, but it's the Times Square area, which has just been leveled by Hurricane Ian. You wouldn't even know where we're standing, but to give you a perspective, right here in this kind of yellow octagon-looking thing is where the big palm tree was that leads up to the pier here. And the pier, you can see, totally destroyed. So just kind of give you an idea of where we're at. And this is just some of the devastation. There are still many buildings standing, Pierside Grill and the Dairy Queen. They are not. However, if you, kind of look on over, part of the pizza shop and some of the clothing stores are still standing. So there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be looking. There's going to be a lot of traffic. So that's why they want to do everything in waves. So here's the deal for tomorrow. If you are a property owner, whether it's a business or residential property, and you live on the south end of the island from Big Carlos Pass up into the Beach Theater or between Times Square and Bowditch Point Park on the north end, you're allowed to enter at 7 a.m. Now, the 8 o'clock hour, that's Beach Theater on the south end to Publix, that's 8 a.m., 9 a.m., Publix to Town Hall, and then from Town Hall to Times Square, you're allowed to come in at 10 a.m. And, during the press conference, there was discussion about, why is this, kind of in this staggered or, different little format setup here. And that's because they want to make sure there's not a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people that are going to want to come onto this beach that are property owners, that own businesses, that have interests, insurance adjusters, on and on and on, that are going to want to try to get on this beach. So they're trying to do their best. The town is trying to do their best to try to mitigate how many people are coming onto the island at once. Now, I took a walk with Councilman Bill Veach just a little bit ago. We walked down Jefferson Street, actually, and it looked a lot like this. Piles of rubble, buildings and homes destroyed. Some homes, like I said, were still standing. Many of them couldn't even access because there was giant piles of debris from other homes sitting in front of their house. Just listen to what he has to say. It's a message to the people that are looking to come here to Fort Myers Beach tomorrow.
We are allowing residents to come on the island now to work on their houses. I really hope that they're careful, because as you pointed out, there's roads that are sinking in, there's debris. If you get through this without a flat tire, you're lucky. There's a lot of hazards here. Plus, there's still a lot of houses that are not even accessible. Even though they're standing, they're behind such a wall of debris.
Yeah, and, like I said, we were talking about that wall of debris, and it's almost as you drive down some of these side streets, pictures don't necessarily do it justice because there's just, kind of think of banks of snow along a snowy road or, sandbanks here, but it's just wood, it's debris, it's, concrete, it's things with nails, it's pipes, it's drywall, it's people's belongings, their homes that are destroyed and now just sitting along the side of the road, which can make accessing your house very tough. Or people are going to come home and find out that their house doesn't exist anymore. Councilman Veach, he took us to his home. There's only a little part of his home that's still standing. 90% of his entire house has been destroyed. And he told us that an estimated 80 to 90% of the homes on Fort Myers Beach today are going to be uninhabitable or destroyed entirely. So that just leaves between 10 and 20% of homes that are going to be even able to be fixed up without major renovations or being built from the ground up. Again, that's something that they want people to understand. They want them to be prepared for, and they want them to be careful once they come onto this island because the hazards here, Trent, Christy, there are a lot of them.
Gage, and I know that Times Square is the home base for the search and rescue crews. You've been out there for a couple hours now. Have you seen the search and rescue crews out and about on the beach?
Yeah, Christy, we have. We've seen them going up and down. Actually, there was a crew from West Palm Beach that's here right now that, they tell me that they're going to be getting ready likely tomorrow to get up and hit the road and, kind of leave the area. And that's what we're seeing a lot of now is these search and rescue crews. They are still out there, are still working. We see them going up to buildings and whatnot, putting little markers on them and whatnot. I believe and understand that the actual search and rescue and recovery portion of their mission is over, and now it's coming into the wrap-up portion. However, there will still be some search and rescue team members here on Fort Myers Beach, but they'll slowly kind of be dwindled down until the entire island is transferred over to the local authorities, Fort Myers Beach Fire and some of our county assets here in Lee County. So that's kind of how they're taking a lot out tomorrow, and then the rest will be dwindled down and kind of sifted out over the next week or so. I'm reporting live on Fort Myers Beach. Gage Goulding, NBC2.